And now you're telling me some lame story about you going to your friend's house to help her with a boyfriend that's being abusive when you don't even have your life in order. If her boyfriend were being abusive, you would have picked up the phone and called the police. Because witness stated they were listening to music and he heard something that sounded like screaming, so he turned down the music. Witness stated that they heard loud banging and screaming and looked to the incident location and they saw victim one, and victim one is banging on the window and crying. They spoke to the victim. The victim said she was all alone. She was hungry and thirsty. Calling 2024 CR 012173, State versus Estrella Hernandez de Jesus. Could I have parties announced for the record? State.
Rick Pena for the state of Texas.
Defense.
Joseph Appel for the defense.
And are you Ms. de Jesus?
Yes.
Counsel, have you received all discovery?
I believe I have, Your Honor.
And did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand you're charged with the offense of abandoning or endangering the intent to the return? That is a state jail felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to $10,000 fine. State any evidence.
Yes, Your Honor. At this time, state offers into evidence State's Exhibit 1 with all attachments.
No objections from defense, Your Honor.
All right, state, you may be excused. Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
She is 22 years old and she does have these two young children. She is not receiving child support currently. Currently, she's been incarcerated for several months. The children have been placed by CPS with her aunt, Maribel Villegas. And as soon as she gets out, CPS has recommended some programs for her to do some services, which she will, as informed me that she is ready, willing, and more than willing and able to perform. So we've just addressed the recommendation by the DA of no contact with the two complainants, which are her children. She would like to have at least no harmful or injurious contact or possibly some supervised contact, whatever CPS recommends based on her progress with respect to their plan that they have. She does have a plan for employment once she gets out. That'd be to immediately get with some temporary services and agencies until she can find steady, regular employment. Her last such employment was with Toyota 2 years ago. She had to leave that job because of the commitments she had with these two young children. She was unable to be at work all the time because she didn't have sufficient sitters for the children. Her aunt has stepped up and that's who she'll be relying on once she gets out, Judge.
All right. So here's my question for you. Why were you not at home with your children on this day?
So what happened was I had a friend, she came to the house and she lived on the next block. She was going through it with her boyfriend. She wanted me to go help her pack a bag. She was scared that he was gonna hit her. So it was supposed to be a quick
So
thing.
here's my question. What were you planning on doing if her boyfriend were to show up?
Well, he was there, so she was scared. She was scared that he was gonna break everything in the house and hurt her. So I was trying to help her. Like she
So
felt
how you
safe.
helped her was you left let me make sure my math is right. The offense date is 2024. So you decided, let me go help my friend with her crazy boyfriend and leave children alone who can't even take care of themselves in a house by themselves. And it wasn't just for 2 minutes because Good Talk said that they were thirsty and hungry. So tell me, where does Mr. Adrian Ruiz play into all of this?
He was giving me a ride. He was down the street and he came with me. And we took the car. We went right there on San Fernando, which is on the next street.
No, because in the police report, people are saying that your car was driving up and down the street.
No, Your Honor, it's not my car. That was his car. I was at home all
Well,
day.
the people who were in the car, which was you and this Adrian Ruiz person, were driving up and down the street. That's what it says. I spoke to the witnesses. They stated they were outside in the yard having a barbecue. They stated they had seen the above listed car driving up and down the street all day, but had not seen anyone in the apartment or any adults around the apartment from at least 7 p.m. Witness stated the party had been outside since 7 p.m. Witness stated they were listening to music and he heard something that sounded like screaming, so he turned down the music. Witness stated that They heard loud banging and screaming and looked to the incident location and they saw victim one. And victim one is the banging on the window and crying. They spoke to the victim. The victim said she was all alone. She was hungry and thirsty. And then the witness went to the front door to try to see if an adult was at home. And the witness stated the front door was wide open, but the screen door was locked. Witness called the victim to the front of the house and had the victim unlock the door. And that's when they arrived on the scene. So that's what I'm reading. So why are you driving up and down the street with Adrian Ruiz, and who is he to you? Is that your boyfriend? Who is he?
He's my ex-boyfriend now.
All right, so ex-boyfriend now? Was he your ex-boyfriend then?
No,
All right, so this is my problem. You were with this Adrian Ruiz. Is he the biological father of any of these children?
no,
So stop with the nonsense. What ended up happening is you are how old?
me too.
You're 22. You're still acting as though you're out here in the streets single with no children. And what you have done is you put Adrian Ruiz Jr. How old is he?
He's 25.
He's 25. I guarantee you, he doesn't want to be saddled down with two children. And you're riding up and down the street with this person while you and your other child who's younger than the are at home starving, don't have anything to drink or any food. Did you have food that day?
I have food, yes.
Did you drink that day?
Yes, so did
They
my
didn't.
children.
Because guess what? These children, some of them drink milk, some may have water, some of them need their diapers changed. I guarantee you their diapers were not changed and their diapers were dirty because the neighbor said that you had not been there and those had been there all day
No,
by
you're-
themselves.
They weren't there by themselves all day. I was there all day with them.
No, they say you were driving up and down the street with your then boyfriend. And here's the thing, I understand things get dicey for young people. They're just like, you know what? I want to live my life. I'm settled with these two children. And I was putting my dreams and my hopes and my stars and my moon on the biological father of these children. He's not stepping up. I'm not receiving child support. And you know what? People should be thinking about that before they start having a lot of children. You understand?
Yeah.
And anything could have happened to these young children.
I understand.
Could have been some, instead of this nice person who was knocking on the door trying to take care of your children, could have been somebody who's like, hey, this is a cute little baby. And then you would have been on the news screaming, somebody took my child, I don't know where they are, help me please. When it was because you were being a horrible mother. You understand?
I understand that.
I don't think you do. I think 2 years down the line, there's going to be another boyfriend. And the reason why I say that is because when mothers have child protective services cases, you know what people always tell them? Don't get involved with any more guys. Concentrate on getting a job, bettering yourself, and taking care of your children. And you know what always happened? During the middle of CPS, when children are being returned, next thing you know, mother has a new boyfriend, somebody from prison that, oh, he's changed, he's a great guy. And in the meantime, you're putting your lives in danger. And children don't get to say, hey, you know what, mom, you're making some stupid decisions out here and it's going to impact me. People don't care because you're all in your feelings with this Adrian Ruiz Jr. guy. And guess what? If he were a good guy, you know what he would have said? I will come visit you at your house, but you cannot leave infants to take care of themselves. Instead, he didn't. And now you're telling me some lame story about you going to your friend's house to help her with a boyfriend that's being abusive when you don't even have your life in order. If her boyfriend were being abusive, you would have picked up the phone and called the police. Because what are you going to do? Are you going to get over there and fight a guy? No, you're just doing silly stuff and putting your child's life in danger. And I'm going to do this no contact order. If CPS wants her to have contact with her children, then what's going to end up happening is they're going to have to appear. They can appear by Zoom if they want to appear by Zoom and come to me with the child's ad litem and say why there should be a contact order. How far did you go in school?
I got my GED.
And what have you been doing with your life other than having children and driving up and down the street with Mr. Ruiz?
I was going to cosmetology school for a little bit, but I didn't have babysitters. So I stopped going and I started going to Toyota, Butex, That's when I was working there for a little bit. I got into this program called Goals. And I was doing that basically, I get monthly payments. I would get monthly payments from them. I had to make goals and I get incentives for completing goals.
Here's the thing, when people decide to have children, they should decide to have children and have plans for who is going to be the babysitter. You understand? There's a $1,500 fine that'll be probated. Proof of employment within 30 days of release. No employment as a home health care provider or with minors. TAP evaluation in custody. Follow recs. There should be regular reporting by Zoom or in person, regular random UAs. There should be no contact with Adrian Ruiz Jr. If I could, if it were legal, I wouldn't let you have any contact with any adult male until you get your life in order and put your children first. But I'm not allowed to do that. So no contact with Adrian Ruiz or the complainants. And it will be 4 years deferred adjudication. Probation, is there anything else?
No, Judge.
Is there anything else you need from the court to be successful? Here's the thing with CPS cases, if you're not going to put your children first, just let them know and say, you know what, this person can adopt them. I have no intention of putting them first. The man is always going to come first. You understand? Don't waste their time and break their hearts. All right, good luck to you. All right, the court is calling 2025 CR 003690, State versus Mia Ray Hermio Herrera. Could I have parties announced?
Duffy Pitlar for the state of Texas, Your Honor.
John Sandheimer for Ms. Herrera.
All right, and probation, this is an application. Counsel, have you received all discovery? Did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor, I have.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Ms. Herrera, did you review the application for deferred adjudication with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you review the true bill of indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
We do so waive it.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Herrera, did you review the court admonishments with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you're charged with evading arrest, detention with a vehicle? That's a third-degree felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. All right, after reviewing state's exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will defer finding of guilt as you applied for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
We are, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
At this time, no, Your Honor.
All right, so why didn't you pull over?
I did pull over.
No, evading arrest, detention in the vehicle is when officers, ask you to pull over. And they signify this by putting on lights behind your vehicle and asking you to pull over. So the officer in the police report said that he asked you to step out of the vehicle and you took off. And then finally, they end up having to break your window once you pulled over again. So do you not remember this night?
No, I pulled over. I just didn't feel safe to get out of my vehicle.
Well, no, that's not what the police report says. Have you read the police report?
Yes.
What it says is, they do the normal, he's driving, he approached your vehicle and gave you the reason for why he was stopping you, asked for your information. You gave him your phone and I copied down our information. I then asked her for insurance. While your window was rolled down, he says there was a very strong odor of marijuana. I told AP I had to return to my vehicle and that I would be back. He contacted his supervisor. And then he gave you more instructions. You refused to follow his instructions. You rolled up your window. He said, hey, I'm going to add more charges. You need to exit the vehicle. You refused and you drove away. I immediately contacted dispatch and informed them of the situation. I returned to my vehicle and started following AP with my emergency red and blue overhead lights and siren on. You continue to travel, and he actually puts in here every street that you pass. And then you finally pull over and he asked you to step out. You didn't. And then he had to draw his weapon. You still wouldn't step out of the vehicle. And he told you, I'm going to have to break this window to get you out of the vehicle. You said, nope, not getting out of my vehicle. And then he ends up having to break your window. So I don't understand what you mean you were not evading. I mean, if you feel as though you're not evading and you want a jury trial, you're welcome to have a jury trial.
I'm content with where we're at as far as like,
So why didn't you, the officer had pulled you over, he wanted your license, your insurance. Why didn't you remain there, give him all the information? What was going on with you? Were you using drugs? Were you intoxicated? What was going on? I'm trying to figure out so I can set appropriate conditions for your probation.
I didn't feel comfortable or safe with the officer. I understand that me driving away was not the best decision. It wasn't the correct decision. And I understand if there's ever a point that I don't feel safe around an officer, that's not the approach to take. I truly just did not feel safe with that
All
officer.
right, and if you're drug tested today, what are the results going to be? And you're going to get drug tested today.
I haven't smoked within the past 2 weeks, so it's gonna be positive, I'm assuming, because I don't know how long it takes to get out of your
Mhm.
system.
So the officer was right when he said he smelled marijuana in your vehicle. Now the next thing, do you have any children?
No, ma'am.
Are you employed?
Yes, ma'am.
What do you do?
I'm a server
Where?
at Omiya. It's a sushi restaurant.
Oh, I'm your sushi. Do you make any of the sushi or you just serve?
I serve.
Okay. All right, this is what the court is going to do. The court is going to sentence you to 2 years deferred adjudication, regular reporting by Zoom or in person. There's going to be regular random UAs. Let them know that they need to test for levels. After today, there's to be no driving until you present a valid driver's license and insurance to probation. There's going to be field visits 1 time per month for 3 months. Proof of employment within 30 days, no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. There's to be no unsupervised contact with minors. There's to be 100 hours of community service restitution. How far did you go in school?
High school.
All right, what are you
Diploma.
planning on, what are you planning on doing with the rest of your life? What's your dream job?
A flight attendant.
All right, so there's 100 hours of community service restitution. If you become a flight attendant, your community service hours will be deemed satisfied. So you need to start making plans on how you can do that.
Thank
My
you.
understanding is you sometimes get free travel.
I have a question.
Yes,
I've applied to be a flight attendant with this current situation going on. I guess I know I probably should do my own research on it, but is
Yes.
this something that, like, after the deferred probation happens?
well, what I can tell you is this is on your record. You need to discuss with your attorney perhaps about non-disclosures or whether or not it can be removed from your record expungements, okay?
Okay.
Probation, is there anything else? Is there anything else you need from the court to be successful?
And just so I understand, the 100 hours, if I become a flight attendant, I don't do them, or I still
Yes.
have to do them?
No, if you complete that, you're off to the friendly skies.
So,
So otherwise you can do the 100 hours. They usually will put you in the sun picking up paper.
is the 100 hour, or do I have like the 2 years to figure out to become a flight attendant? Is that what-
Yes.
Okay.
All right, is there anything else?
Just one last thing, Your Honor. In discussions with the state is not going to, I just want to place it on the record, the state is not going to oppose an early termination application if we should so apply.